my channel, or welcome back. My name is Nguyen. In this week's video, I'll actually be giving you guys a little story time about the time that I not only had my license suspended, but a misdemeanor citation on top of that, and the time, which is actually recent, just now, when I wrecked 2 cars within less than 6 months. So without further ado, we're just gonna jump right into the story time. So I guess we'll start with the time that I had a misdemeanor citation and then having my license suspended. So how that situation panned out, it all came from a wreck that I had. And that was actually my first wreck ever. I remember it happened on a Wednesday afternoon. It was 2017. I was just a freshman in college. I was actually leaving someone's house to go to a night class that I had. And I remember parking in front of their house. I usually always park in front of their house, like just right in front of the house on the street. So I remember leaving like how I usually would. I cut on the music, and instead of driving down the street and finding a street to turn on in order to turn around, I just like busted a U-ey like in the middle of the street. And I guess I really didn't look. Like I remember kind of looking, but then I guess I didn't look. I literally busted a U-ey right into someone. So when that happened, that was like the first time I ever had a wreck. My car was like messed up because my whole front, the hubcap of my left steering wheel flew off. It didn't just come off, it like flew off like to where nobody knew where it was anymore. And the person that I wrecked into, they were actually driving like a Charger. So their car was like super messed up. I don't know if their airbags came out or not, I don't remember. And I knew I was fucked because just before that wreck, like maybe a couple weeks before, or maybe a month before, they canceled my car insurance because I was being young and dumb. I was thinking to myself like, why am I paying almost $200 for this car insurance and I don't even wreck like that? Mind you, I had just got that car back in April of 2017. So now this is August of 2017. I wrecked my car and I knew I was in some shit because I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have insurance. Like, what am I gonna do? The police are arriving on scene. Like, I feel like I blinked and the police were on scene. So I was like, oh fuck, like what do I do? So the police are like, doing their thing, asking what happened. I was clearly in the wrong. I felt like, damn, you saw me coming, you couldn't have stopped? Because I swear it was like, this person didn't even try to slow down. I felt like, I don't know if I saw a car coming at all, or if I saw the person coming, but they were like way down, like in the beginning of the neighborhood. So I thought I had enough time to like do my U-ey real quick. And I just felt like the person could have kind of slowed down, but the law said I was in the wrong. So when the police were asking for like insurance and stuff, this is how I finessed that situation in that moment. In that moment, I still had my insurance card, okay? So I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna show them this insurance card and hopefully like nothing happens as far as like I don't want to get a ticket for that or whatever. So I showed them my insurance card and that got me out of that situation right then. So I guess those police officers, I guess depending on who you're dealing with, sometimes they'll like check to verify that shit and then sometimes they don't. So I guess I was lucky because they didn't verify it. They were just kind of like jotted down like, okay, this is your little policy number, cool. Even though I was not with that insurance company anymore. I didn't even have insurance to begin with. So like I said, that was my first wreck. I wasn't sure how that process was gonna go considering I was in the wrong. And I thought that since I just got out of that situation that day with the whole insurance thing, that I was good. Like I was just gonna have to find a way to fix my car out of pocket. So we fast forward to February 2018, the day of my birthday. So my birthday is February 22nd. I was getting some weird number call. And usually I don't answer unknown numbers like that, but for some reason I just felt like, who is this calling me? Let me answer. I answer. It's like this old lady talking about she is a debt collector and she is trying to collect money from me from my wreck, which I was in the wrong. So I had to pay for the damages of the other person's car, which ended up being like $8,000 something. At this point, it's my birthday. I'm turning 19. I don't have freaking $8,000 laying around. So I was just kind of like, can we set up a payment plan? Like, how do you expect me to pay that? And she was just like,
yeah, we can have a payment plan.
I just remember this lady being very like stone cold, no emotion through the phone, like just no emotion, just basically like, I guess that's how they're supposed to be, I don't know, but basically just like run the insurance company their money. And I was kind of like, okay, like I can pay in lump sums, I agreed to pay lump sums because I wasn't trying to get in trouble or I wasn't trying not to do the right thing. But I'm not gonna lie, after that day, after we got off the phone, I think I made a couple payments like here and there because this lady was calling me all the time. She was calling me like her life depended on it. So she was calling me all the time. And at some point, I think after I made a couple payments of like $250 or like $500 here and there, like I just kind of try to ghost. Like I know that's wrong, and I know that's not what you're supposed to do, but in that moment I was young, I was dumb, I didn't want to like face my responsibilities, so I literally ghosted because I was like, one, I'm tired of this lady calling me all the time, harassing me for some money that I don't have. Like I'm just a regular college student with a regular job. Like I make good money, but that's to take care of myself, not, you know, pay debts. Like that's how I was thinking in that time. Like I just wasn't answering her calls. I think I blocked the call. And then so fast forward to later on in 2018, I want to say it was like the fall time, like September, October or something. I had gotten a letter, and it was from like the debt collector people. They were just like, you know, you still owe like this insurance company, we haven't heard from you, and if this continues, or if we don't, you know, if you don't pay or something, like we're gonna suspend your license. And so I think I saw it, and I was just like, man, whatever, like y'all not talking about nothing. So I just ignored it. I ignored the letter because I'm like, how they even gonna know if I read the letter or not? How they even gonna know that this is gonna work? So I just left it alone. Fast forward to January of 2019, I just started nursing school, and it was the day of my orientation, okay? Very first day, they're just kind of laying out like what nursing school is gonna be like, et cetera, et cetera. And I remember the dean of the school actually like talking about like trials and tribulations that you might face during nursing school, and he was just basically saying like, you know, things come up, things happen in nursing school, and sometimes you might not be able to finish in the timeline that you thought, because the nursing program I was in, it was for 5 semesters. So I guess he was trying to encourage people, letting them know that like, you know, sometimes people drop out, they decide to actually leave the program. Some people just have like random stuff that happens, and it's just like a part of life. You know, people get pregnant, people have sick family members, people move, you know, just all types of like random things that could happen to you in the course of 2.5 years that could basically cause a roadblock. So he was basically just trying to encourage people in knowing that this might not be a breeze. It might not go in a linear direction like how we would want, et cetera, et cetera. And I just remember sitting in the audience like, man, that's not gonna be me. Like, I don't care what in my life happens. Like, I'm getting through nursing school in 2.5 years. So I was just like, no ma'am, like, can't be me, can't be me, and Meanwhile, like, none of this depth shit is like on my mind. So basically, I'm sitting in the crowd thinking, can't be me. That night, I went to go pick up my little brother from his friend's house, and on the way back, I actually get pulled over because they said I was speeding, but whatever. So the man said I was speeding, and I gave him my license or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was speeding, da 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 da. He goes back to his car with my license, and he comes back, and he's like,
ma'am, do you know your license is suspended?
And I was just like, and I remembered that letter, but obviously I was gonna play it off. I was just like, oh, really? Suspended? What? That's crazy. My license is suspended. And I think I still didn't have insurance at the time, so I was gonna get a ticket for that too. And he was just like,
yeah, your license is suspended. I'm gonna have to give you a misdemeanor citation. You're gonna have to show up for court. And you're gonna have to show proof of insurance as well. You can go on Tennessee.gov to see, you know, what are the requirements to get your license back. But technically, I can't see you leave the scene right now. Or I can't see you drive off. So you're gonna have to call someone. And if you are caught driving, you will be sent to jail. Like, no questions, no consideration.
really? I was like, bruh, I just started nursing school. This was a Friday, and nursing school started on a Monday. So I was just like, are you kidding me? So I ended up having to call someone to come get my car. And then I just remember being like super stressed out. I was just like, damn, I really need to pay these people. I can't believe they did me like that, even though they had told me they was gonna do me like that. How am I not gonna have a car? Cause like, it's just me, you know, it's just me. Like, I take myself everywhere I need to go. So what am I gonna do now? So I was like, I'm gonna have to be really careful when I drive, because I was still driving. Like, I needed to go to school. I needed to go to work. But I just felt super stressed because I was like, okay, I really need to handle this money situation with this insurance company, because they keep freaking interrupting my life. And now they're really getting in the way, because now I have a suspended license. I don't know what to do. That's when I started contacting the people again and trying to figure out, you know, like, what can I do? Because I was just kind of like in this predicament of like, okay, I'm in nursing school. I'm stressed because of that. I'm supposed to go to court on February 14th. Mind you, I was also going through a breakup that January. So I was like, okay, I'm going through a breakup. I just started nursing school. My license is suspended. I have a misdemeanor citation. And I owe these people a buttload of money. So I was just like, oh my gosh, like my life is a joke. And I think that the next month, I think one more month, I needed to find a new place to stay because my roommate situation wasn't the best and I needed to change it. No place, no car, no license, and somehow I'm supposed to get through my first semester. So yeah, that was like a humbling moment right then. We're gonna cry every night, we're gonna pray every night. We need to talk to Jesus. I was literally praying every night because I was like, I don't know what to do. Like I've never been in a situation like this before and I do not want this to keep messing up my life. So I started calling the people and trying to figure out, you know, what can I do? You can ask for a settlement. I didn't know about that at first. So I basically asked them for a settlement. They were like, okay, we'll settle for like $3,000, like $3,500. Because I had already given them like $1,000 or so. So it wasn't like I just didn't pay anything. And I was still dealing with the same lady too. And she was not happy after I've been dodging her for almost a year. So yeah, she was just like, okay, yeah, we can settle, da 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 da. So what I did was just make my life a little bit easier because like I said, I was starting nursing school. I wasn't going to be working as much. I couldn't have recuperated that money in a short amount of time, like the way they were harassing me. So what I did was at the time, I didn't have any student loans. I went to school on like a full ride. At the time, I also didn't know that you can always ask for your student loan, like whenever. I thought that that was something where like the beginning of every semester when they would ask you like, do you want your subsidized and unsubsidized loan? I would always decline because I didn't need it. Like I got money back from my grants and scholarships and stuff and that covered my tuition. And I was fortunate enough to actually like get paid every semester. So I didn't know that you could always go back and change your mind and ask for it back or whatever. So that's what I kind of did. I basically just went back and took out a small student loan, just enough to pay them for the settlement and call it like quits. So that way I could get my license back because at that time I had no choice but to settle this crap so that I could get my license back. And so I made it a goal for myself at that time to just basically have my stuff together before my court date, which was February 14th. It was actually on a day that I had clinical. And, you know, it was first semester, and the way clinicals work is you cannot miss any of them. Like, even if you're sick and dying, you would rather go to clinical than miss it because the way they punish you for missing a clinical is no joke. So I was like stressed about that because I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to miss clinical, but I have no choice because I have to be at court. So what am I going to do? And I was just getting pre-stressed from just knowing that I'm going to have to do all this extra work to make up for the 6 hours I was missing at clinical. As time was getting closer to like February 14th, actually I had already gotten my license back, had insurance, and did everything I needed to get my license back and was done with the whole situation with the insurance company. That kind of gave me the confidence in knowing that like, okay, hopefully the judge or whoever is gonna like mess with me and be like, okay, well at least she got her stuff together. I'm not gonna punish her too bad. So then as the time was getting closer and closer, I was getting all this mail from like lawyers or like little attorneys or something that was saying like, oh, you don't have to go to court. Well, I'll go for you for like $50. I was like, shoot, $50 so I don't have to go and you can go for me and like I'm not in trouble if I do that and I get to go to clinical and not have to do a whole paper and some more. So I went to the attorney's office like that day and gave him his $50. And then, yeah, then it basically blew itself over. The only thing was that from that point onward, like since I had my license suspended for like, what was the reason? How did they explain the reason? I think neglect of financial responsibility, something along those lines. That's the category I was in. From that point forward, my insurance company, whoever I was had auto insurance with, they would have to file something called SR-22 for me, which basically just gives the state a way to track that I do have car insurance at all times. Let's say I switch insurance or like I didn't pay my insurance company on time or something. And you know how the insurance companies be doing. If you are even late 1 hour, they're canceling your shit. So if anything like that happened, then they would report that to the state and the state would suspend my license again or petition to suspend it again, basically. I don't think it adds anything but like a couple of bucks or something once you set it up with your insurance company. It's not even a recurring thing. It's just like a one-time fee because they have to send something off. I don't know. But I had to have that for, I don't know, I think it's like 3 to 5 years. I think mine was 5 years. They didn't have to do that. But it's okay because I'm mature now and I got my life together, and I was only gonna let that happen one time. So since then, I've had insurance. So yeah, that's the story about how I got my life together real quick in January of 2019 when I started nursing school. So yeah. Fast forward to this past April, so April 2021, I was still driving the car that I had when I first wrecked ever. And I was so close to paying the car off. Only had like a couple thousand left on it, and I was about to graduate in May. So basically what had happened was, spoiler alert, it was not my fault. Neither one was my fault. So let's just get that out the way. I was actually on my way home, and I was actually in my neighborhood on my way home, and I'm driving in a straight line, like, you know, through the neighborhood. It's just one road, but, you know, enough for one person to go this way, the other person to go the other way. I'm driving, minding my business, literally 1 or 2 turns away from reaching my destination. And this fool in a Kia literally just decides to bust a U-turn right into my car as I'm driving straight. Like, I'm driving straight, they're driving this way, I see them, they see me. So I don't know what type of Fast and Furious shit they thought they were on, but they just like literally they hit the crap out of the front of my car. But thankfully they missed my whole side door, because it was like literally the way they crashed into me, we're going straight, and they just turned right into me and went like flying, because they were driving this small Kia and I'm in like a big Nissan Rogue. Their car, like, their glass like breaks, and like when everything happened, I thought that my glass broke, because I was like, it happened so fast that I was like, oh my gosh, was that me? But then I was like, nah, it's not me. Like, I'm fine. Because like I said, they missed my front door. They only hit my front, and their car was like all jacked up. Like, windows busted, airbags deployed. The dude that was driving, he had a girl with him, and she was climbing out the window, like talking about, you stupid, like, is she okay, da 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 da. I just remember my door being like kind of stuck. And so I had to like push out, and the dude was just like, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. Like, don't talk to me. I'm finna call 911, because what the heck was that? Thank God this person had insurance though. So that situation actually worked out for the better, because they ended up saying my car was totaled just because it wasn't worth the cost to fix. The other person's insurance took care of everything, as they should, because it was his fault. I was like a smooth breeze through handling that situation, because the other person's insurance was very on top of it, calling me and like just communicating with me, the settlement and everything like that. So at that time, in less than a month, I was it April or was it March? I think it was actually the end of March, either end of March or early April. But either way, in a short amount of time, I was about to graduate from nursing school and actually move to Columbus, Ohio. So it worked out for the better, because I didn't have to worry about transporting a car at the time. So, and she was kind of like not super reliable, but I was going to ride her out until she died. And I didn't know she was going to go out like that. I ended up getting like just a little chunk of change, not anything too crazy. I waited to get my next car when I moved. That way I didn't have to think about how I'm going to transport a vehicle. That just made everything a lot easier. I found my next car, which was my like dream car as a like adult. So I got the Audi Q5. It was a 2014 with brown interior. It was freaking beautiful, okay? It only had like 50,000 miles on it, which was great for used car, because I don't know about you, but if you listen to Dave Ramsey, we're not buying no new cars. So anyway, it was a great used car, and I was so happy, even though it wasn't planned, even though I didn't think that I was going to get it that soon. I was just super happy, because I was like, oh my gosh, this was a steal. I went up to Cincy, got the car in May, and then I was living blissfully with my new beautiful car. I seriously was so in love with that car, and it was just a perfect car for me. Second car, dream car on top of that. And I was living blissfully for the next couple months. We fast forward to this past September 2021. Again, I was on my way home. I was literally this time only one street, less than a minute, one street away from reaching my destination. And I was going straight, and this person in a small car, yet again, I don't know if they ran their stop sign, or I honestly think that they just thought they could zoom over to the other side of the street real quick. Like, I don't know if they thought that I was just going slow. I don't know. So this person just darts over and hits the crap. I'm talking about she hit me. Like, she hit the freak out of my front car. And this time I actually felt like I was in a true wreck, because the first 2 wrecks that I've experienced, like, I walked away fine. Like, everything was fine. But when this girl hit me with her little car, Oh my gosh, like my airbags came out. I remember blanking out because it just happened so quick and it was so unexpected. And like, I remember trying to honk, but I was like, there was nothing I could do. Like, they hit me in the intersection, and in the process of trying to honk, it actually backfired on me, because when I came out of blanking out, all I knew was like my right hand where I went to honk was hurting so bad. Like, I just remember trying to find my phone, and I knew my hand was like messed up. Like, I remember my finger was bleeding, and my hand was hurting so bad, and it was hurting so bad I couldn't even like flex my fingers to, you know, type 911 or dial 911. And my airbags were everywhere, and like smoke was kind of everywhere. The girl had like 3 passengers with her, and one of them ran over to my car, tried to open my car door. It was stuck, like how I've experienced before. But they tried to open my car. They're like, hey, you need to get out. Are you okay? Are you okay? And I was just like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm trying to call the police or whatever. And they were just like, well, you need to get out the car, da 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 da. And I was just like shook, because like in that moment, I was already going through a storm in itself, like which just with my personal life, I was just going through a lot of shit. And that felt like it was like the cherry on top, like the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, that's how I felt. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I get out the car, and like these folks were starting to make me so mad. They were so annoying. Like, they literally were like,
I don't know if you didn't see your stop sign.
I'm like, motherfucker, I drive down the street every freaking day. I know there's no stop sign for me. Like, you had the stop sign. I don't know if you saw your stop sign or not, but you hit the crap out of me. They were acting like I was in the wrong. And then I was not talking because I was so pissed and like so just like emotionally exhausted, because I was like, oh my gosh, like, are you kidding me? Why is this happening to me? Because like I said, I was already having other stuff go on, and it was like that saying, when it rains, it pours. I was like, damn, it's pouring and thundering. It's doing the whole 9. So I was just so irritated. And I remember like getting emotional and like crying, because I was just like, oh my gosh, like, one, my hand is messed up, like my dominant hand at that. I can't do anything with my left hand. So I'm just like freaking out. The police aren't showing up right away. They were making snarky comments like,
oh, she not talking because she knows she in the wrong. That's why she ain't talking. She knows she in the wrong.
y'all are fucking dumb as hell. Why would I be talking right now? What can y'all do for me besides just wrecking to me? I'm not talking to you because you aren't the people I'm supposed to be talking to. Like, I could care less about y'all. Besides the fact that like knowing that they were safe. Clearly they was all fucking good. But just them making their snarky comments like that at me when we were like 10 feet apart, I was just like, do y'all understand what happened just here? Like, you're the one that's gonna get the ticket. So why are you making comments like that at me? Like, because I'm not talking to you. Like, you're not the person I'm trying to talk to, period. I was really irritated, so I wanted to pop off low-key, but I was like, you know what? It's not even worth it. Like, and the last thing I need is for the police to show up and I'm popping off. Like, no. I knew that joint was totaled as soon as I saw it, because I was like, oh my gosh, she cannot come back from that. Like, and it's a shame. This is a 2014 Audi Q5. So you telling me the first owner that had it for 7 years, never wrecked that car, never even had a little accident. And I had the car for not even like 5 months, and I totaled it. And of course, this time, the girl that hit me doesn't have insurance. So now it's like I'm going through this whole process with my insurance company. I don't know, my insurance representative this time is not the greatest, and I'm at the point where I'm harassing him because I'm just like, what's the update? What's the status? Because as of right now, we are like in the middle of November and this situation has not been settled. I'm still just waiting and waiting. And honestly, my priority is just, as long as my insurance pays it and my gap insurance jumps in and they take care of that auto loan, then I'm good. I'm not really too worried about everything else, but I'm just like, I know y'all not gonna make me pay for a car I don't got no more. Cause I know you're not gonna have me that messed up. So I just can't wait for all that to settle itself out, because I'm really tired of dealing with car and insurance and all that jazz. Yeah, that's basically my experience with cars and insurance and law enforcement. So I hope you guys found valuable lessons, learn from me, okay? I'm telling you guys these experiences I've had in my life for you to take away from it so that you don't end up like me. Always have car insurance. Know that if you don't pay certain shit, they can suspend your license. Don't think it's a joke. Don't think that if you ignore letters that you get to your house, like nothing's gonna happen. Be careful driving. Like, I'm a pretty observant driver, like any other time. Like, I know It might not seem like it, but I'm not that bad of a driver. Other people might say otherwise, but that's their problem. But you know, what I've learned and heard is just like my situation, the past 2 wrecks I've had is actually very common. Like people get into wrecks right when they're approaching like their destination a lot. Take away from me, take away from this video, and just be a little bit more observant. If you're not already, be a little bit more observant whenever you're reaching your destination, because your car can get totaled in the process of that. I hope y'all didn't hear my stomach growl just now. I'm a little hungry, but yeah, I just hope your car don't get totaled in the process of that. So yeah, take away from me and learn from me. Like always have insurance. Don't make illegal U-turns. Don't dodge your financial responsibility, because just because you dodge it don't mean he's not gonna catch up with you. And just be a little bit more observant when you're approaching your destination, because I really don't want anyone to, you know, go through what I've been going through. And like, it's just really ironic that 2 out of the 3 wrecks I've had have always occurred during the worst time. Not that there was ever a prime time. My first and my last, it just felt like it happened at the worst time. And I'm sure what came out of it is the experience, the knowledge that I've gained from every incident. But, you know, I'm sure I would have been fine without. But God was like, sis, I'm trying to teach you how to have insurance. And guess what? That first wreck, when I didn't have insurance, that came in handy for the next 2 wrecks because I had insurance. Imagine if I didn't have insurance, what trouble I would be in then. You know what I mean? So just make sure that when life gives you a lesson, learn it quickly, learn it the first time, so that way, you know, you won't be in some shit or in similar shit. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys are enjoying my channel. I know I'm still a new YouTuber. I'm trying my best. I hope that you guys can see it, because your girl's not that tech savvy, but I'm trying. I'm trying for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys take away something from it. I hope you had a couple laughs. Please consider liking this video and commenting on it if you really enjoyed it. I would really like to interact and engage with you guys more, but I feel like lately I've been just talking to myself. So please, this is getting rough out here. So please leave a comment so I can actually talk to you. And yeah, consider subscribing to my channel so that you can keep up with my content. I will and do post every Monday, so just keep up with that. If you're into vlogs, clothing hauls, story times, and possibly anything else, please consider subscribing to my channel and just keeping up with me. Don't forget to head over to Instagram and follow me. That's where I do interact the most and post. That's the only social media I'm using at the moment. So please head over there and follow me so that we can continue to, you know, be on this journey together. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for taking the time out to listen to me. And I hope you guys have a great week. Okay? And I'll see you guys next week.